Welcome back to the craft room. This is the card we're going to make today using those lovely layering stencils from this month's subscription box. I'm going to show you how to use these stencils. So that's the card we're going to make. So if I just pop that down there. Now I've taken some of our Harmony ink pads. I've got 3 colours this time. I've chosen Honey Pot, Green Topaz and Orange, one of my favourite colours. I love this one. And again, a choice of what you would like to use when it comes to blending and distressing. We have the round blending tool, or we have the square blending tool, or you can use one of our latex sponges as well. It depends on what you like and what you feel comfortable with when you're using these. Now I've taken some of the cardstock, so you can see I've got a piece of cardstock ready, and I'm going to create a little bit of a background. So you can see here with this card I've got a background layer using one of the stencils. Now there's 3 parts to this stencil. Again, we have that beautiful background. Let me fetch a darker colour in so that you can see that. So you can see that lovely splash design on the back there, that lovely dots design all the way around. That's the what we call the 3A, which means it's the background one. Then we've got the next layer, which is those beautiful butterflies. Again, look at those. Lots of different size butterflies with little butterflies in the background. A beautiful stencil on its own, in its own right, as this one is as well. But when you layer these all up, you're going to be able to create some really stunning effects. And by that, and I'll show you as we move along making this card, that when you take that over that second stencil, so this is your 3C stencil, you can see you've got that lovely body work there in that middle of that butterfly. So first things first, we're going to use this one to start with. So I'm going to place that over there. And again, all I'm going to do is take that over the edge. Now I've taken a big square. I've taken a piece of cardstock that measures at 5.5 by 5.5. And I'm going to place that over there. I'm going to take, first of all, the Honey Pot. So I'm going to use Honey Pots, and I'm just going to place that in, and I'm going to go over and create this lovely background. And you can see straight away you've got that beautiful splash design. And there's no right or wrong way when you're using stencils. You can tape them down if you want to tape them down, or you can use our repositional spray and place that on the back and it holds it into place, or you can take low tack tape and put it into place. Now that's looking really nice, but I'm going to add another bit of a colour. Let me just wipe this down for a second. So I'm going to wipe that over. Now when you're cleaning your stencils, either have some hot soapy water ready to dip them into and give them a nice clean, or take a wipe and just be gentle over there when you're cleaning it. The same with when you're drying it, just give it a gentle clean. And then it's good to go, ready to use again. So I'm going to place that over the top. This time I'll use the orange. Let's take an orange. So the orange one, again, and you're going to create different effects, whether you're layering this up or just a different background, but you can see you're getting some dimension to this now. And again, there's no right or wrong way of using this, but the possibilities are endless when you're using stencils, creating that lovely background. It almost looks like I've taken the ink and splashed that on there, but it isn't. It's just our Harmony ink pad with a tool over the top, and I've created this lovely dimensional layering effect already without using the rest. Right, there we go. I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm just going to place this just round the edge, just to give it a little bit of a frame. And this is the orange that I'm placing over there, and just blending that all the way around to create that lovely framed effect. There we go. And now you can see I've got that lovely splash design in the background, but then all this brings it in to create that frame. So I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to leave that one just to one side. Then I'm going to bring in, this is for the watercolour cardstock that's in the kit. Again, just chop this down to size. This time I've taken this to a 4x4, and these stencils also measure just a little bit over 4, and you can see this fits perfectly over there. Now again, choosing the different in the colours. So the background, in fact, tell you what we'll start with first. I'm going to bring this back in. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use all 3 together. So I'm going to use the lightest of the colours, which is the Honey Pots. Just create a little bit of a background. Again, just to tie that in. But I want to show you how all three work together. And you see you've got that lovely splash technique already. Let's place that to one side. I'm going to then bring in the butterflies. Love this one. So that was a 3A, what I first used there with that splash. Then we've got the 3B, and again, you could take this down if you wanted to. I'm just going straight in and holding it in place with my fingers. But if you don't feel comfortable, take some low tack tape and take that down. Right, so what colour shall I use now? So I've just used the honey pot. Let's have the orange. Oh, no. I'm going to go back to the honey pot. I'm going to have a little bit of a difference here. I'm going to take that over. Take that all over there. And then again, if you are doing it by hand and you do move it, just pop that back into place. And really quite simple to do. Now, I'm just going to take that, move the top one and finish that off. Quite happy with that. And if I lift that back, ooh, you can see that beautiful background. So you've got the background, but then we've got that next layer with those butterflies. And then now we're going to bring in this beautiful one. Absolutely love this. Now, again, just place that over the top. Now you can see the wing detail fits perfectly over there. Now I'm going to use a little bit of the orange on this one. In fact, I'll use the orange on the bottom part. And again, just place that over. There we go. And then I'm going to take a bit of this green topaz as well. So I'll pop a bit of the green topaz over the top. So you're multi-layering your inks over the top to create a little bit of an extra design. But when I lift that back off, look at that. That looks really nice. I'm really quite happy with that. However, you can go back if you're not 100% happy. You could go back and add a little bit of extra colour. So bringing in some of that orange, I could put a little bit of orange on there. There's no right or wrong way with these, but you can see just by adding a little bit more on, it builds up a little bit more dimension. If I had a bit of the green as well, add a little bit of green in there. So the possibilities that you've got with these stencils are just amazing, and that for me I just love it. I think this is a really perfect way. You could add deeper colour as well if you wanted, put more ink on there. I've just been quite light with it, but I'm really quite happy with that. And again, just to frame that, I'm going to take that orange and I'm just going to go all the way around with the ink just to frame it again, all the way around. There we go. And that just frames that perfectly. So let's put the card together. Again, quick and simple, really quick, simple cards that you're going to be able to make with this technique, because these stencils, have been brought to layer together to create this lovely effect, and they're almost like a 3D dimensional effect, but they look really beautiful. I really love these. I think they're amazing. So let's take some of this cardstock. In fact, before I get carried away, let's wipe up all the ink so that we're not getting the card covered in all this ink. But again, all these colours that I've taken from here are from this month's subscription box. This is all that lovely coloured card. So let's just take some of our all-purpose glue. Just pop some of that on the back. And the card blank as well is also from this month's subscription box with the matching envelope as well. So it means you've got a minimum of 18 cards that you're going to be able to create for this. But like I've said time and time again, these stencils are going to last you a long time. You're going to just replace your cardstock. You've got 18 cards that you can make from that box. But with those stencils and looking after them well, it just means that you're going to be able to use them over and over and over again. Now I've taken the background, so I'll pop the background onto there. So we'll pop that on. There we go. Place that over. And then I've taken some of this card again from the kit, and I've just made it into a little tail there, so almost like a little ribbon effect. And just pop that on the back. go. And then this time I've created a different colour mat, again, just to bring that in. But again, all this cardstock, all these papers are all from this month's subscription box. And I just place that on the top. There we go. And then I've taken one of the stamps. So this time I've used Happy Birthday, and I've just distressed around the edge when I've stamped using that stamp, just distress around the edge to bring that in. And I'm going to use some of our 3D Collage glue just to give that a little bit of a lift. Pop that on the top. And then take some of these beautiful paper flowers. And again, these paper flowers, because we've kept them white, it means you can take all your inks. I'm going to use the orange for this one. Take your inks and add that little pop of colour, and then just place wherever you want to place them. I'm going to pop that in that corner. I'm going to keep these two white. There we go. And then do exactly the same. Just take one of them, give it a little bit of a colour, and place that on. And then don't forget you've got all those gorgeous pearls that you can add that extra bit of detail to. But I think I'm quite happy with how that one looks. And that, for me, again, a really lovely, simple, quick, easy card to do, using everything that I've taken and I use for this card is out of this month's subscription box, which is the layering stencils. And I don't know if you agree, but they are really fabulous. You're going to create so many wonderful things with them. And this being the kind of thing that you can do, making that from that lovely subscription box.